Welcome to botany class. In this class, we are going to discuss about light reaction of photosynthesis. The light reaction is the first stage during photosynthesis. In this light reaction, synthesis of assimilatory power, photolysis of water, evolution of oxygen during electron transport, and synthesis of ATP by chemiosmosis occurs. All we discuss in this video. In this diagram, you can see the chloroplast. Already you know is a double membrane envelope containing cell organelle with outer and inner membrane, and inside the inner membrane you can see liquid matrix called as the stroma. Within the stroma, lipoproteinous horizontal lamellae called thylakoids are present, and here and there these thylakoids are present like piles of a coin, and this piles of coin is called as grana, and on this grana the light reaction of photosynthesis occurs due to the presence of photosystems. In these pictures you can see the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, which help in the light reaction and which play an important role in the electron transport, by which synthesis of assimilatory power occurs. In this picture, you can observe how the photosystem 2 and photosystem 1 helps in the electron transport. The reaction center of photosystem 2 is called P680. It gets excited and loses an electron, and this electron through different electron carriers reaches to reaction center of PS1, that is P700. And in order to take this electron donated by P680, the P700 should be ready by losing electron. So how it loses electron means by donating the electron through different electron carriers to NADP+. Thus, the electron deficiency in P700 is fulfilled by the electron donated by P680, and the electron deficiency in P680 is fulfilled by the electron donated by P6 water molecule. In this diagram, you can see the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, which are arranged on the grana, and here these two photosystems helps in the electron transport. If both photosystems participate in the electron transport, that is called as a non-cyclic electron transport, and only if PS1, that is reaction center P700, participates in the electron transport, that is called as a cyclic electron transport. And in this picture you can see the non-cyclic electron transport, which is operated in the English letter, in the form of English letter Z. So it is also called as the Z scheme. Here in this picture you can clearly observe the reaction center of PS2, that is P680, gets excited. In excited state we represent in the form of P680 star, and in that state it loses electron, and through different electron carriers that electron is reaching to the P700. What is this P700? That is reaction center of PS1. In order to receive this electron given by P680, the P700 should already have a deficiency of that electron. The deficiency develops in P700 by donating the electron to NADP+. So like this, the electron from P680 moves to P700, and from P700 the electron is moving to NADP+. You can observe in this picture all this movement of electrons. Now, what is the question? What about electron deficiency in P680? The electron deficiency in P680 is fulfilled by the electron donated by water molecule. That is, water molecule undergoes breakdown called as photolysis of water and releases 2 protons, 2 electrons and half oxygen. This protons reaches to the lumen of the thylakoid, and electrons reaches to P680, and oxygen is released into the atmosphere. Like this, from water the electrons are reaching to P680, from P680 the electrons are reaching to P700, and from P700 the electrons are reaching to NADP+. Thus, the electrons lost from one photosystem through different carriers reaching to the another reaction center, but not to the same reaction center. So it is called as a non-cyclic electron transport. In this non-cyclic electron transport, in between PS2 and PS1, quinone cycle will be operated. During this quinone cycle, per one pair of electron transport, 4 protons reaches from stroma to the lumen of the thylakoids. Like this, from one water molecule 2 protons, from quinone cycle 4 protons are reaching to the lumen of the thylakoids for one pair of electron transport during non-cyclic electron transport. Like this, in non-cyclic electron transport, altogether 6 protons are reaching to the lumen of the thylakoids and synthesis of NADP H plus occurs. For one water, 1 NADP H plus synthesis and 6 protons are reaching to the lumen of the thylakoids from the stroma region. But in cyclic electron transport, the electrons lost from P700 again through different electron carriers reaches to the same reaction center. So here there will be no photolysis of water and no synthesis of NADP H plus, but quinone cycle is operated. Due to that, just 4 protons reaches to the lumen of the thylakoids from the stroma region. Like this, comparatively, in non-cyclic electron transport 6 protons and in cyclic electron transport 4 protons reaches into the lumen of the thylakoids. In non-cyclic electron transport from water, the electrons reaches to P680, from P680 to P700 and from P700 to NADP+. But in cyclic electron transport, the electrons lost from P700 again through different electron carriers reaches to the same reaction center, that is P700. Like this, during light reaction, by utilizing light energy, the water molecule breaks, which releases oxygen and protons. Oxygen reaches to the atmosphere, and during this, assimilatory power, that is ATP and NADPH2 are produced, which are used in the dark reaction. Now, chemiosmotic hypothesis. What is this? That is to explain the ATP synthesis during light phase. A scientist called Peter Mitchell proposed this hypothesis. According to him, for photophosphorylation, that is for the synthesis of ATP in the presence of light, the proton concentration gradient between two regions is the main cause to synthesize the ATP. That is, due to cyclic or non-cyclic electron transport, gradually the proton concentration is increasing in the lumen region than the stroma. So due to this, what happens, from the lumen region the protons tries to jump into the stroma region, but the thylakoid membrane is impervious. It does not allow the protons to move. But with the help of a protein called as ATPase, the protons moves from lumen to the stroma region. While they are moving from high concentrated lumen to the low concentrated stroma region, certain amount of energy is released. With this energy, when 3 protons are jumping from lumen to the stroma region, one ADP and one inorganic phosphate will be combined to produce one ATP molecule. Like this, for 3 protons, the production of one ATP molecule occurs. So this is explained. This is called as a chemiosmotic hypothesis, which was explained by Peter Mitchell. In this diagram, you can see the chemiosmotic hypothesis clearly, and the protein called as ATP synthase also. The ATP synthase has 2 regions. One is head region called as CF1 and second is a tail region called as CF0. The CF0 is acting as a proton channel and head CF1 is acting as a catalytic site to synthesize ATP molecule. In this diagram also, you can see the chemiosmosis along with the ATP synthase enzyme. The tail is directed towards the high proton concentrated region and head is directed towards the low proton concentrated region. Due to this, they can easily synthesize the ATP molecule. Here the important point is 3 protons energy is sufficient to synthesize one ATP molecule. This is called as a chemiosmosis. Like this, during light reaction, what are the main events? The electron transport occurs, that is non-cyclic and cyclic electron transport. Then photolysis of water, by this evolution of oxygen occurs and synthesis of assimilatory power, that is ATP and NADPH2 occurs. By utilizing this assimilatory power in dark phase, synthesis of glucose, that is food materials, occurs. Thank you for watching this video. This is M. Sarita, JL in Botany, working at BC Welfare Junior College, Boys, Shaimpet. Thank you for watching my video and spending your precious time. Thank you one and all.